Hello, everyone. Thank you for your support of Catholic education and St. James School. We certainly couldn't do this without you. This year, we opened our doors to 331 students and welcomed 11 new teachers and staff. I hope you've been able to meet your children's teachers and that your children are enjoying the school year so far. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this video as I detail what happened over the summer and what our plans are for the 24-25 school year. We continue to make needed upgrades and changes to our facilities. In need of one more classroom due to opening a second third grade classroom on the second floor, we needed to renovate a small room on the third floor to accommodate all the middle school classrooms. Rooms 309 and 307, therefore, were renovated this summer to make this possible. We completed over the summer the kitchen renovation project using the funds raised during our last Spartan Day of Giving. We now have all new convection ovens, regular ovens and ranges, a new griddle, a new freezer, refrigerator, and microwave. The kitchen is so shiny now, and I hope you get a chance to check it out soon. This past year, we used our non-public security monies to, among other things, replace the exterior library doors to match the other exterior doors we installed the year before. Next will be the gym doors to finish this project. We are also seeking to add more security cameras throughout the building, and I am currently looking into determining more efficient and effective ways for our faculty and staff to trigger lockdowns if, God forbid, we ever need to. And as always, we will continue to practice one security drill and one fire drill every month to ensure that all teachers, staff, and students understand what to do in the case of emergency. As many of you know, our tuition does not fully cover all the school's expenses. Actually, tuition and fees cover about 87% of our expenses, which means that we need help to close that gap. We do receive an investment from the parish and the diocese, for which we are very grateful, but that investment still doesn't close the gap completely. Therefore, the school relies on fundraising to cover the remaining 6% of its expenses, and that's where you all come in. Many of our HSA-sponsored events are expected to raise some funds, with the remaining funds being raised through the two advancement events, the SJS Almost Winter Classic 5K race in November, and the Spartan Soiree, newly rebranded as the Blue Ribbon Bash, to be held in May. Your participation in helping with the success of these events through your volunteerism and your attendance at these events are pivotal to the success of closing that gap between tuition revenue and our operating expenses. Last year, our teachers worked with me to review our reading, science, and social studies book series with a focus on continuous improvement. After looking through many samples, the committees provided me with their recommendations, which were excellent. What I found, unfortunately, was that any new series is very expensive, so we have to be strategic in our transitions. This year, in social studies, we will be using the Young Citizens curriculum for grades 1 through 4. This series provides a much more experiential and interactive approach, and our teachers are very excited to be using it. In science, the teachers recommended that we use the FOSS, or Full Option Science System, in grades 1 through 8. This system provides teachers and students with modules and grade-level kits that contain permanent equipment, teacher materials, and consumables, which lead to successful investigations for all students. This is a wonderful program that will surely up our game when it comes to science instruction, but it will have to be phased in over a 3-year period to make it affordable. So this year, our pilot grades will be grades 1 and 2. Next year, we will introduce this system to grades 3 through 5, and then in year 3, we will implement it in the middle school. The reading series recommended by our reading team will hopefully be implemented in grades K through 4 next year. I am happy to announce that we have implemented the use of the Wilson Foundations program in grades pre-K 4 through 3rd grade this year. Our pre-K and kindergarten teachers have been using the Foundations strategies in their classes for the last 2 years, and this year our teachers in grades 1 through 3 have received professional development in the use of the product from Mrs. Joan Rizzo. So I'm excited about this improvement to our language arts and specifically phonics program. We will again this year offer a unit of study in our religion program devoted to St. John Paul II's Theology of the Body. The unit of study, like in previous years, will be taught in January. Additionally, the Diocese of Metuchen now requires its schools to teach two lessons every year as part of the Safe Environment program. These lessons are referred to as Empowering God's Children, and one lesson was already delivered in September. The next will be in January, and you will be notified prior to that lesson. This year, we are reintroducing an opportunity for students in grades 6 through 8 to become school leaders by joining the Student Council. Students have indicated already their interest in running for president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, and soon students will be able to express interest in becoming classroom representatives. Moderated by Mrs. Chirico and Mrs. Corcoran, the students will learn how to campaign, write and deliver a campaign speech, and, once elected, how to properly run meetings using Robert's Rules of Order. I look forward to the Student Council's leadership and service to our school. New this year is a program that recognizes students' diligence in following our school rules, especially the uniform code and their behavior. Each month, students who show this diligence and dedication will receive a citizenship award to recognize their efforts. Mrs. Chirico developed and executed this program, and so far the students seem to be very excited about it. Our Hearts on Fire virtue curriculum continues with students learning about 12 virtues, including courtesy, respect, responsibility, self-control, and others, including what those virtues look like and sound like, and working with their buddies and classmates to complete related activities. This year, as with last year, all students have buddies to foster the sense of community in our school. Our younger students go to Mass with their buddies in middle school, and all buddies complete activities together during advisory or when working on project-based learning tasks. And lastly, Mrs. Florendo and Mrs. Chirico are teaching leadership lessons to the 8th grade based upon the book, The Catholic Vision for Leading Like Jesus by Owen Phelps. The lessons so far have been focused on the idea that Jesus was a servant leader, what that means, and how we can all be a servant leader. For the past 4 years, St. James School's administration and faculty have been working to integrate project-based learning principles in the classroom. Project-based learning allows students to collaborate or work independently to complete a performance task based on the content they are learning about. The ideal task is cross-curricular, hands-on, longer term, includes a presentation of their work, and is related to a future career. Examples of past project-based learning tasks are our 1st grade candy shop owners, our 5th grade food truck owners, our 4th graders who had to develop a menu for astronauts to eat while in space, our 8th graders who wrote scripts and acted out their alternative endings after reading A Midsummer Night's Dream, and 6th graders making a museum exhibit about 2 saints that had some commonality. These are just a few of the amazing PBL tasks our students have completed over the years. Along with the commitment to PBL in the classroom, our teachers have received professional development from our partner, Defined Learning, which is a repository of project-based learning tasks that can be tailored by our teachers for their students. The Professional Development Day on October 14th was focused on project-based learning, and many of the teachers have noted that it was very helpful in their planning. Based on feedback from our teachers and an idea received from one of last year's Coffee and Conversation meetings, we have adopted a compressed schedule 1 to 2 times per month that will allow teachers to spend 1 hour of dedicated time to project-based learning. This will provide the opportunity for students to work with buddies or middle school students to work with their entire grade on PBL tasks. We will celebrate all the hard work with a PBL fair in May. This will be an evening event where students will present their final products and will showcase all the activities that were completed through the year. Make sure you look out for the date, and I hope you can all join us. Last year, we enjoyed a school-wide project-based learning task, a mini golf course. This year, our school-wide PBL will be focused on carnival games, with a carnival night in the spring. This year, we continue to dedicate the 20 minutes after lunch and recess to our virtue studies. Students will focus on the 12 virtues we're studying this year, and as stated before, will complete activities with their buddies. We continue our retreat program for each grade this year, whereupon students will attend either a full day or half-day retreat focused on deepening our students' faith. Mrs. Chirico and Father Ariel are collaborating to create retreats focused on the various aspects of servant leadership. Additionally, Father Ariel will be working with each class to lead the students through a teaching mass intended to deepen the students' understanding and appreciation for each part of the mass. Our first 8-week session of after-school enrichment is already underway, and session 2 will be coming soon. Many thanks to Mrs. Joan Rizzo for all her hard work in putting together these exciting opportunities for our students. Our fall athletics programs are in full swing. Our cross-country team continues to have great success, and our volleyball program has been resurrected thanks to many volunteers. The students are really enjoying their cross-country and volleyball experiences. Soon to start is CYM basketball in the winter, and then in the spring, our record-breaking track and field season will begin. And we will once again have drama club this year. I'm not sure how they can top last year's performance of The Lion King Jr., but there is certainly a lot of buzz about it this year. Information was recently sent to all families in grades 5 through 8, so if your children are interested in joining, please email Mrs. Ryan to express your interest. This will help Mr. and Mrs. Ryan to choose a show that fits with the group and then they can begin rehearsals. Please check out our weekly news and notes for the schedule for Coffee and Conversation. Our first meeting with grades 7th and 8th grade parents was well attended, and I really appreciate the honest discussions. The SJS 5K is coming up soon. Our Spartan Day of Giving has been moved to November based on feedback from families, and there are many HSA events that all are welcome to participate in. I hope you'll take these opportunities to help our community and to help you connect with others in our community. And we can't let this go without mentioning it one more time. For 8 years, we have been working toward the ability to apply and receive this prestigious award, the National Blue Ribbon School Award. I hope you are all able to watch the live stream announcement and are as proud as I am of our community. Becoming a National Blue Ribbon School is truly an honor and further evidence of the commitment to excellence exercised by our administration, teachers, staff, parents, students, and parishioners, past and present. Please make sure you're keeping up with all of our communications, either through the school website or social media on Facebook and Instagram. And we've recently transitioned to School Messenger from Swift K-12 as dictated by the Diocese of Metuchen. If you are not receiving regular communications from the school, please reach out to Mrs. Mariana Wickezer for help. Thank you again for watching this video and for your support of our beloved St. James School. It's going to be a great year.